Good morning. I quite literally just rolled out of bed, so you guys are getting me in my prime today. Today we're doing best friend's brother dash brother's best friend. I firmly believe that there are a difference between the two of those, just an FYI. However, they can fall under the same category because they're similar enough, but still different. And I'd like to preface this video by saying, if you are thinking about getting into a relationship with your best friend's brother or your brother's best friend, don't do it. Really great trope, not great in real life. Without further ado, the first book we're going to talk about is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. This book is like super popular, and for good reason. It's extremely good. Tate is a nurse. She moves in with her brother she moves into her brother for her new job, and he's a pilot, and so all of the pilots live in the same apartment complex, and his best friend Tate, or Miles, lives across the hall. So Tate and Miles decide to be friends with benefits, and then shit gets real. A lot of people said that they hate Miles in this book. I refuse to hear any Miles slander because I loved him. He was wounded. That's all I have to say. Next we have 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. I don't have this book, and I haven't read it in a long ass time, but shit, I can't even remember the characters' names. Okay, just a minute. Okay. The book, it follows Darcy and Tom, and Darcy's like a badass woman. She's cool. She's one of her nipples pierced. And she firmly believes that she doesn't need anyone. And so she inherits a house. Her and her brother inherit her grandma's house, and her brother's best friend helps them like renovate this house because he works in construction, I believe. And I think when they were 18, Darcy's always had a crush on him, but when they were 18, something happened and they walked away from each other, and they hadn't spoken in like 6 years. Actually, that's a lie. They've seen each other, but they haven't like talked in 6 years. You cannot see like this. They haven't like talk in 6 years, which is a long time. And this man was engaged and shit. So when they have to work on this house together, it's some forced proximity. It was a good book. It was my first Sally Thorne book I read. I really like her. I haven't read her newest book yet, but I love The Hating Game. So, next we have Beautiful Player by Christina Lauren. This is a part of the Beautiful series, and it's my favorite book in the Beautiful series. It follows Hannah and Will. Hannah is a scientist. She's 22, I believe. Yeah, 22 or 25. Either way. And she is like a professional scientist, and I believe she's a lab scientist. She decided to go the lab route instead of the academic route. And so she spends like all of her time in the lab. And so her brother is like, you need to get out more, blah, blah, blah. And then her brother sets her up with his friend because his friend knows everything, has seen some stuff. And so Will and Hannah meet, and then Hannah's like, I want you to teach me things because I never do anything. And Will's like, sure, dog. I loved this book. Beautiful series is great, but that one is my favorite book in the series. And then next we have Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. This one is also good, also part of a series, the first one in the Hot and Hammered series. This one follows Georgie and Travis. I was gonna say Tyler, so good thing I checked. Georgie and Travis, and they live in this small town. I believe it's a small town where everyone kind of knows everyone. And Georgie and her siblings have a renovation company, But Georgie is a professional clown, which I thought was interesting. It's a cool aspect to the book. Literally can't fucking see. I'm sitting on my beanbag. Okay. And so nobody in her family takes her seriously, and she's also the youngest. So then there's Travis, who is a professional baseball player, but he has been having some mental blocks, I think, and so his career has kind of gone to shit. So he goes back home during the off season to this small town to lick his wounds. And his best friend is George's older brother. So Georgia goes over there one afternoon and is like, get up, dude. And then they agree to fake date at some point. I don't know exactly what happens, but it's a great book. It was the first Tessa Bailey book I read, and now I'm in love with her, so. Next we have The Chase. I do have this book. It's by Al Kennedy. I love this book. I've read it multiple times. I don't know if I'd qualify it as Brother's Best Friend, though. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Brother's Best Friend, but I personally think it's just Brother's Friend, because they played Fitz, and his name is Colin Fitzgerald, but everybody just calls him Fitz. So Fitzy and Dean played hockey together, and now Summer, Dean's sister, lives in the same house as Dean used to with Fitzy, and it's a wild ride. Pretty much Summers likes him. She's been upfront about it, and Fitz is like, no. But he likes her too. He just doesn't think they would be a good match. So it's a good book. Next we have Rule, but yeah, clearly. I woke up roughly 10 minutes ago, just an FYI. I rolled out of bed. I got this book at my local Goodwill. I was upset and poor and wanted a book, so I was like, you know what? Let's go get a $5 book from Goodwill. I can't see anything, so I'm gonna grab my glasses and then I'll be back. Okay, we're good. Anyway, very good book. It follows Rule and Shaw. And Shaw goes to this college, and that's where Rule lives too. He's out of college. I wanna say, that she went to this college so that she could be near Rule. I think that's what happened. And I think that this can qualify both as best friend's brother and brother's best friend, because they have a sibling. Nope. I can't remember what the sibling's name is. But he has a twin brother, Remy. And so it's Remy and Rule, and Remy and Shaw were best friends. So like, yeah, you can piece that together. I'm not doing it for you because I don't really get it, but that's fine. Anyway, so Rule is like a bad boy. His parents are kind of assholes to him. I don't like that about this book. And then Shaw is top of the line good girl. Like, her parents are rich. They don't pay very much attention to her though, but she does everything right. And she's been in love with Rule for forever. And Rule's always been attracted to her, but he's like, no, I have to protect her. And she's my brother's girlfriend, because everybody thought that Remy and Shaw were together. So, very good book. I really did not expect this book to be as good as it is, but now I want to read the rest of the series. So, then we have Bad Habit by Charlie Rose. This book is kind of fucked up. I'm gonna be honest. the age gap is semi-uncomfortable. And mainly because it's illegal and that shouldn't be happening. But if you get past that, which not everybody can, but if you get past that, it's a good book. Pretty much, I don't remember their names either. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it follows Briar and Asher. I don't even know how I forgot that because I love both of those names. Anyway, it follows Briar and Asher. Briar is the girl, Asher's boy. Asher's older than Briar by 4 years, I think. Briar has been in love with that man since day one. And it's her older brother's best friend. And one night something happens. And this is where it's fucked because she's 14 or 15 and he's 18 or 19, and that is in fact illegal. But one night something happens and then and Asher leaves and doesn't come back until 3 years later. Yeah, so he's 21 and Briar's 17. And it's kind of a shock that he's back because Briar was like, you just left, didn't tell anyone where you're going. But shit got real. You don't find out that shit got real until like the end of the book, but shit got real. And so he's back, and then it's awkward because they're like, I see you, you see me, but we're not gonna do anything. Like, we're not gonna. Anyway, it's good. It's kind of forbidden. It's because it's illegal. But I mean, they make it work, I guess. Next, we have To Love Jason Thorne. I loved this book. I bought this one and To Hate Adam Connor when they got popular. That's all I remember. I don't know when they came out, but this book follows Jason and Olive. Jason lived across the street from Olive and became her brother's best friend. Olive, I want to say they're at least a few years apart, but they're not illegal. Anyway, so Olive and Jason are whatever. Olive had a crush on Jason, a massive crush on Jason, and I think Jason knew it. I think there was a time where he was like, yeah, but no. And then something happened in Jason's family, and he ended up moving away, and they all lost contact. And then Jason became a big movie star. And Olive was in college at this point. I think she had just finished college, and she had written a book that was being turned into a movie. And the main character was cast as no other than Jason Thorne. So they see each other again, and they're like, oh my god. And then, shit gets real. Yep. Yeah, so shit gets real. And then, to add on top of this, they fake get married. So there's some fake dating in here too. It's a thick book. It's a thicker book. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I think that Jason Thorne very well could be the love of my life. And yeah, I don't have words for you, but it was beautiful. Next is Sinner by Sierra Simone. I don't really know if this one counts because it follows Sean and Zenny. And so Zenny is Sean's best friend's sister. So it's like best friend's sibling or brother's best friend. I think it could be. Anyway, I loved this book. The next book in the series is actually Brother's Best Friend. And like that's the main point of it. This one could be too. I don't know, but I haven't read the next one. So we're just gonna go with this one. Anyway, Sinner follows Sean and Zenny, and it talks a lot about God. So if you don't like that, don't watch this or don't read this. However, that kind of was like, no. But then I was like, yeah, because it has a lot of good conversations about God. Anyway, Sean and Zenny. Sean is in his 30s, and Zenny's in her 20s. She is training to become a nun, and she's about to vow her life to the Lord. And Sean is a lawyer, or maybe he's just a businessman. I want to say he's a lawyer, and he's like cutthroat. He doesn't give a shit about anything except for money. And he's been through some traumatic stuff. He has some baggage regarding the church. So it's kind of hard for him. But then he runs into Zenny, and he's like, oh my God, I know you. And she's like, no, you don't. And then they decide to be friends with benefits, because Zenny wants to know things and know what she's missing, because nuns can't have sex. So she's like, I need to know if this is right for me. And actually, she doesn't say that. Her nun principal woman says that, and is like, you need to go see the world before you decide to commit your life to this, so you know what you're missing, because we don't want you to resent the church for that. So it was a great book. I'm pretty sure I cried over it, so take that into consideration. Take that as you will. Anyway, lastly, we have Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I probably said her last name wrong. That rhymed. I just finished this book literally 2 days ago. I absolutely loved it. Alex Volkov is, I mean, he could be mine. I wouldn't protest that. Anyway, it follows Alex and Ava. Alex is Ava's brother's Josh's best friend. That didn't make sense, but we just pretend it did. Anyway, he's a rough past. He's into some bad shit. And by bad shit, I just mean it's illegal. It's not drugs, I promise. But they're whatever. Ava and her friends, okay, Josh moves away. So then Alex moves into Josh's house, because Ava and Josh were neighbors. Alex is there to protect Ava. So that happens. And then their relationship progresses, obviously. But the reason that they started getting close, and this is my favorite part about this, is Ava and her friends make up an operation. They call it Operation Emotion, and they try to get Josh to feel emotions, because apparently he's heartless. He's not. Or Alex, not Josh. Josh's book is the 3rd book in this series. Anyway, and so that was an interesting aspect of this book. I enjoyed that part. But yeah, it was a very good book. Shit hit the fan real fast. Reminded me of a mafia romance, and I love mafia romances, so I wasn't mad. But it got real intense real fast. And I mean, I saw it coming, but then what actually happened, I didn't see coming, you know? It was good. I don't know. Either way, that's all I have for you today. Yeah, great trope. Not great in real life. If you think your older brother, or guys, if you think your older siblings' friends are hot, no, just don't do it. And if you think your friends' older siblings are hot, don't do it. It's not good for any party involved. So yeah, I don't know. Have a good day. Bye, love you.